Now, from the Ford Sports Desk, KOMU-8 Sports.
Good evening, everyone. Our long national nightmare is over, and college football has finally returned. And it gives way to our new local nightmare of driving anywhere near Stadium and Providence. But it's not so bad for these people at the game. We head to Faurot Field. They seem to be enjoying it all the same. On the first drive, Mizzou versus Murray State, Henry Josie gets his first action since 2011. And tearing his ACL, and MCL. Takes a run for 12 yards. Good to see him back on the field and running strong. In the first quarter, the Tigers and Racers are all tied at 7. And Russell Hansborough breaks a big one for a 51-yard run and a score. The Tigers would miss the extra point. Mizzou goes up 13-7, though. Hansborough ran for 104 yards on 8 carries with 2 touchdowns in this game. Let's stay in the first quarter. Murray State responds here, a bit of trickery. Jeremy Harness passes back to Malachi Miller for a 5-yard touchdown pass that gives the Racers a 14-13 lead. But that would be about all for Murray State. So if you're here for the Murray State highlights, you can switch off now. Second quarter, Mizzou would respond. Franklin drops back and launches one to Cahokia, Illinois' finest, Jimmy Hunt, for a 22-yard score. Tigers regain the lead 20-14. Now in the third quarter, much of the same for Mizzou. They're up 30-14 at halftime. But Josie seems to be looking healthy. He breaks off for a 68-yard run for a diving touchdown. Mizzou goes up 51-14 at the end of the third. Josie finished with 113 yards on the ground, and Tigers would tack on one more touchdown to win this one 58-14. Mizzou's next opponent, Toledo, visited the Swamp to face the Florida Gators. The first quarter, Gators are in the red zone, and Mac Brown barrels one into the end zone for a quick score at 7-0 Florida. Second quarter now, Gators are once more in the red zone, and Brown rushes it again. There's something about having Mac Brown, the player, on a team coached by Will Muschamp. It seems to work out. 25 carries, 112 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Brown. Florida wins this one 24-6. Moving on to College Station, Texas. Texas A&M and Rice going at it. In the second quarter, Rice is threatening, and Jordan Taylor hauls it in just the way he had planned it to. Rice was only down 28-21 at half, but in the second half, perhaps you've heard of Johnny Manziel? I don't know. In the third quarter, Manziel stays in the pocket and finds wide receiver Mike Evans on a slant pass. He takes it 23 yards for a TD. Manziel goes 6 for 8, 94 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Aggies win this one 52-31. Now let's take a look around the rest of the SEC. Number 8 Clemson is up on number 5 ranked Georgia 31-28 in the third quarter. Top-ranked Alabama took care of business in Atlanta, beating Virginia Tech 35-10. The 12th-ranked LSU Tigers are up 16-10 in the third quarter over the 20th-ranked TCU Horned Frogs. And Arkansas started off the Bielema era, beating Louisiana Lafayette 34-14 earlier today. To the Hearn Center we go for MU Volleyball. They're taking on Idaho State here. First set, Idaho State is up early on Mizzou, but Sarah Meister receives the serve, bumps it to Molly Krekalo, and All-American Lisa Henning takes care of business there. Still in the first set, Meister serves it to ISU, and 2 blocks by Missouri help them get the point. Missouri regains the lead here in the first set, and they would go on to win that one 25-19. The second set now. Idaho State serves it. Carly Can bumps it over to Molly Krekalo. And freshman Emily Thader slams it down. Mizzou wins the second set 25-15, and they would do it in 3 straight sets to improve to 3-0 on the season. Now, don't forget, baseball is still going on. In fact, now is the time to start paying attention. The Cardinals and the Pirates are deadlocked at the top of the NL Central with just 2 games left against each other. Beautiful night for baseball at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. Bottom of the second inning, 2 runners on, and A.J. Burnett helps himself out with a single to right. Russell Martin goes on to score. It's 1-0 Bucks. Top of the third inning we go. Carlos Beltran. This is the guy you want to see with men on base. Colton, he would single to center. Colton Wong comes around to score. That cuts the Pirates' lead to just 1. Bottom of the third now. Russell Martin shows off opposite field power. 3-run homer puts the Bucks up 6-1, and they would win this one by a final of 7-1. They take a 1-game lead in the NL Central. Let's go north of the border, up to Toronto. Bottom of the 8th inning with the Blue Jays and the Royals, it all comes apart for the Royals here. Ryan Goings hits it through Alcides Escobar's legs, which scored on an error and plates Munori Kawasaka to tie the game. The bottom of the 8th, Aaron Crow, Mizzou grad, walks in Jose Reyes to give the Blue Jays the lead. And this is how the game ends, not with a bang, but with a whimper. They throw out Chris Getz trying to steal second, and Toronto wins this one 4-2. That's all for sports. Time for a break.